Islet starts off with the story of its world and how it was created. A Pangea-like structure held together by magnetic cores soon forgotten about by the world, until one day split again, bringing about barren wastelands and silent hardships. Warriors each year would set out to discover a way to reunite the shattered landscape by reigniting the cores. You are one such warrior. The story of Aiko is a tale as old as time, one of a character who has little to no confidence in his abilities, shrouded by the achievements of warriors before him and their egos. He's unsure of his place in the world and how to even attempt such a feat. You as the player are tasked with navigating through the difficult trials and tribulations he'll soon face. And while he may never come full circle in his confidence, there's little to no doubt by the end of the game how much of an impact the little mouse's hard work has had on the world around him, as well as its citizens. Islet is a Metroidvania, heavily inspired by Hollow Knight as well as Studio Ghibli influences, and if you're asking me, you really can't pick two better pieces of art to use as your inspiration. Islet's world is beautiful and colorful, but at the same time morose. Each islet is traveled to via a ship you fly. There's a main hub with interesting and quirky side characters, and even boss fights in the air that act like bullet hell fights. The enemies you encounter are full of expression, the platforming is tight and refined, the puzzles fun, interesting, and varied, and the music had me in an absolute trance from beginning to end. You are armed with the sword and bow like every great warrior is. You have an invincibility roll that allows you to get out of sticky situations. And as with all Metroidvanias, you gain new powers along the way that allow you to get to previously unreachable areas. The game, all in all, wasn't very difficult from start to finish. I would say I had around 30 deaths, and I would say that's a direct result of how often this game gives you upgrades. In the first hour or so, I had upgraded, I feel like 6 times just from doing side shit. And it's a shame, honestly. The platforming and combat is surprisingly fine-tuned, and I think in general, we as gamers find that when something is more difficult to beat, while maybe frustrating at the time, as time goes on, becomes our more cherished memories. It should have been no problem for Islet's creators Kyle and Eric Thompson to have had combat and platforming that moved at the same pace as the upgrades you're likely to receive along the way. I was able to beat the game within about 2 sittings, clocking in at a little over 6 hours. While I do have more to go back and complete for side quests, if I'm being completely honest, I probably won't. While I love most everything about the game, and the story of a 2-man studio consisting of brothers is the epitome of why I play indie games, I was a little let down by the final boss. And I don't feel like this game has much more to offer in terms of surprising the player due to the boss design slowly becoming less interesting the further I got in. At the end of the day though, if you're looking for a solid Metroidvania with extremely memorable writing and loaded with charm, you don't need to look much further than Islets. I absolutely recommend this game and look forward to seeing more from the studio in the future. It's a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching.